Hello, this is the second diary entry of September the 20th, 2015. As you can see, my puppy, what the hell is his name, Patch, has decided to join in. So I'll just get started now as we go. So now, basically, yesterday being Sunday the 20th of September, not bad a day, not really that busy as it happens. I was getting up. I was due to get up to see my sis as per normal. I see her on a Tuesday and on a Sunday around 7ish. And yes, I was due to go to her place. So before I went to her place, I was transferring a few episodes for ourselves to watch of Golden Girls, which we both love. And I then head off to see her. Yesterday was All Ireland, what do you call it? All Ireland Sunday. It's basically the American version of the Super Bowl. You know, the Super Bowl, I think 40 or 50 or whatever it is. I'm not American in that sense. But anyway, so it was quite hectic outside. So then, while I was in her place, I had a few cups of tea, and of course herself. She loves her cups of tea, and I had my own. When I drink tea, I actually go in the order of regular tea with your milk. In my case, it's the what do you call that milk? Dairy-free milk. In this case, Diamond is the name of the brand, or Diamond Almond. And then I have black tea, which is Romanian version of black tea. Well, just no milk basically, and regular coffee with the milk, of course. Don't you have ever tried coffee on its own? It'd be quite harrowing, I'd imagine, on the stomach, let alone anywhere else. Well, the bladder maybe. And then of course my green tea. Now we have plenty of chats, the usual, which I'm not going to discuss or go into the details. And again, like I said, I was transferring Golden Girls episodes, and we had a great time. Great time was had by all. So then I came back, and usually on a Monday, which is today, which you get the next diary entry tomorrow or whenever. Excuse me. I was brought along my cell phone to my sister's to see if I could, which is my old cell phone, the one which is Sammy. I call him Sammy. So technically he's actually Samsung Galaxy Samsung Galaxy S3, which is about 2 or 3 iterations old. I think they're on the 6th one now, S6 I think they're on at the moment, not sure. So I charged it overnight for several hours because it was an old phone, sorry, so it didn't work that well battery wise. So what I've decided to do to reintroduce him into my life again, because I did kind of miss it, to be honest with you, is I'll just be yeah, there we go, and he's still there. Because I was kind of missing it. So what I'll be doing is introducing it via GPS. So what I mean by that is I'll be using it for fitness apps, like you all know what fitness apps. You're not that stupid as to say. So, and of course, if I want to find my way around an area like a city, or even sometimes here in Dublin where I live, it depends on the area to go to. I tend to have a bit of a difficulty locating, say for example, in south end of the city, like Turn-Europe, for example, or my mate O'Farrell down in Rathfarnham. At first I found his place to be very difficult to find. I kind of have it off by heart now, but I still need the maps to help me along. So that said, I'll be using the Samsung Galaxy S3, or otherwise known as Sammy, for that reason, and of course the current Sammy 2, which is Samsung Galaxy Note 3. He's for audio use like apps and phone calls, yada yada yada. So while I was looking at it, bringing back plenty of memories, I saw a picture of a hot guy, which the phone is charged. I can't really show you. Hang on, I might be able to show you. Now let's see what you guys make of it. Don't know if you can make it out there at all. No, over here. Can you make it out there? When it doesn't turn off this side, maybe. So can you just make it out, just almost. That better pressure, alright? So then, other than that, thank you. Other than that though, what I plan to do is first to reset it up, because it's really bad memory wise. So what I plan to do is Now I didn't see any photos on it while I was in my sister's place, so what I plan on doing is getting rid of everything app-wise, everything, resetting it back to square one, and then if I don't think my S3 is due for Lollipop, which is the Android operating system upgrade name, or yeah, you could call upgrade name or update. They call all the Android operating systems are called after all these desserts like eclairs, and the current one I'm on is KitKat, which is on Samsung Galaxy Note 3, the Xiaomi 2. But Xiaomi, the first one, won't be able to get anymore because of it's into its hardware or something, so I won't be able to upgrade. So hence why I'll actually be doing my very first routing, or I've heard the term bricking somewhere. Basically, what that means is you'd be doing it illegally to a certain degree, but it won't affect your warranty because the warranty is finished anyway in my case. So if you were to do it while your warranty is on, yeah, that would affect it. But the fact that my warranty is finished, I'll just probably route it and all that. So that way have a customized operating system. That's what the term routing means. Or you give extra permissions. I don't want to go into too much technical detail. On to my next idea, or bullet point if you use the term. I was uploading pictures of my babies, the inflatables. Now I don't know what some of you know about my babies. If for those, according to my WordPress blog I'm reading the diary entry of, I'm on my 795th post, nearing the 1,000. So that means I've been diary or blogging for almost 2 years. I think it's just over now 2 years. September coming, or just September this month. So that means for those of you who have been following me will know that I adopted or became fascinated, if that's the word, for inflatables. So over the last few months in particular, I've set up a Facebook page and my obviously album in my personal Facebook page or Facebook itself. Then a separate page where you like the fan page kind of thing. Then I've got the Facebook group itself, and there's a new site which is my sister asked me what's this mobile thing you're on about, George? Like I never can understand, and I simply put it to her. It's basically another Instagram whereby you upload pictures and you have to you can set filters, and if you're into photo editing hardcore so to speak, that's where you can do it as well. So basically I think it's just not competition. That's basically all I can think of. Then We Hearted is basically another form of Pinterest, which I'm sure majority you know very well. Pinterest, I mean. We Hearted, like I say, you basically heart an image, and if you like the image, you same thing. You heart it, and I think you can repost. I'm not sure about the reposting aspect, but basically, We Hearted is I have an album for my inflatables in there too, and of course Google Plus. They have their own Google Plus page, Tumblr, and Twitter. So I've provided links to all my social media accounts in terms of the inflatables, if you like to see any of them or follow them or whatever, it's up to you. And then on my last poll, or as part of my email ritual, I was reading an article on a website known as MakeTechEasier.com, and there was a poll which asked me, should Microsoft kill Windows XP and be put out of its misery? Now, this blog post or this article was put up sometime, I think, March, or April of last year, 2014. Windows XP is due to be killed off in terms of support in April 2014, which I think has been cut off now. So they just want to do a poll, and surprisingly 70% actually wanted to keep it, which currently they're doing it as we speak. They're still keeping the operating system, and the other 30%, which I be part of it, well, I don't know. I suppose I'm between two minds whether to keep it or not. So I don't know. Like I love new things as well, new life and new everything, modern stuff. But at the same time, I do like old, reliving history. You know what I mean? So I was part of the crowd who said 70% would like to keep it. But obviously, I don't have a copy of Windows XP unless I get a pirate version, which wouldn't be of 90 that's pirate business in the first place, but still. So then, just a brief history of all my operating systems. I first started off with a Commodore 64, which was basically a DOS kind of thing, DOS, and then I moved fairly quickly when I moved over here to Ireland to Windows 95, which didn't last long, I don't think, if I recall rightly, onto Windows 98. I actually really enjoyed Windows 98. Then along came Poly, or should I say Windows XP, which lasted for a few years. Then I got myself for Windows Vista, which I went to the Microsoft launch of that with my dad, if I recall rightly. And of course, the launch itself was perfect, but the operating system was very buggy. I found it very slow, especially on the spec I had. Then I had Windows 7, which was I loved it immensely, considering the RAM was quite lowish, and yet Windows 7 was a breeze to work. So I find Windows 7 is the new version of Windows XP, whereby when Microsoft go to kill off Windows 7, people will still keep Windows 7 because it's that good. They're not going to be ditched that quick. And of course, I'm sure everyone has heard about Windows 8, which was really an PR disaster or public relations disaster for Microsoft. But then, now I bought that I think about a year or two ago on the first Dell machine, which was grand, except the hard drive gave out to me, which I can't really understand how a brand new machine would actually give out, which I still have underneath the current HP laptop, what the machine I'm using now. But they ripped me off last year, so I had to get a new HP laptop instead because they wouldn't help me out at all. Even though the support was out of date, the warranty or whatever, but still, they never lifted a finger to help me. So I said goodbye to good riddance, as to say. Been with them for years, but anyway. And then on to my final task, or bullet point as one would say. Last week, Facebook will actually announce it's what is known as empathy, which, as Mark Simpson puts it, empathy is putting your feeling what that other person is feeling. So what I'm trying to say here is Mark Zuckerberg, the CEO or whatever the hell he's called, president, there's all forms of names you could give him, which I won't go into detail. He actually describes it as if anyone posts an upsetting post, like say if someone died or someone or a pet or even a natural disaster for that matter or whatever, anything upsetting. Currently, if you like a particular post that is of negative nature, if you think it go through the mind of that person who receives the comment, either they approve the post or maybe they agree with it, even though they kind of don't really like the idea of agreeing, considering, like, like say for example if my whoever died, and people were to like it, I would be saying to myself, but do they actually like that some guy they'd never heard of died? So Zuckerberg is actually going to change all that, and he's introducing a button whereby it could be dislike, unlike, or he's introducing some form of button series. That's all I can say. And again, the website I mentioned above, MakeTechEasier.com, they asked they asked a poll, I should say, which is as follows: what do you think of Facebook's planned dislike button? Now, they gave us five options. Sorry, three. Yeah, that's what I started five. For a second, I thought I couldn't count. And option A was a dislike button is something I've been wanting for a while. I voted for that one in particular. 40% out of 99 total voters actually voted for that. Second option was I don't use Facebook at all, or I don't use Facebook, so it doesn't affect me at all. 33% voted for that option. Option 3, this change will only bring confusion to something that works well, which 13% voted for that, which I personally cannot understand that at all, so I'm going to literally disregard that completely. It doesn't make sense. It will turn out like Reddit. You can obviously get I don't have much combination with that fella. It's obviously some form website, so there's no point asking me what is it about. I am on the side, but I never understood it at all. So it will the option 4 says it will turn out like Reddit, like I say, no matter what they say, 10% voted for that. And finally, it won't change the way Facebook works. and 3% voted for that. Total voters were 99. I was one of the 99. I'm not tooting my own horn, whatever the phrase is. So on that, I voted for the first one, which is a dislike button is something I've been wanting for a while, which is actually true. So if I see some guy, I see, like for example, if I'm on my sex Facebook profile, alright, and I want to see what a guy looks like in terms of, these pictures you put up, obviously not porn or like that, I would say, I don't like that guy, and that way you'll be able to know what guys will be able to tell what are your kind of guys you're into, or for the straight people, like women or whatever, you know. So listen, after a record, jeez, 16 minutes almost, I think Patchy's there getting sleepy there, and my Flavors is hanging around, so I'm gonna head off. So have a good night or day for them or whatever it is that you do on a Monday, and I'll speak to you soon. Have a good day.